Hello everybody, I'm Sharpened Blade, and today we are going to take a look at the Civivi Elementum in Flightanium titanium scales. Now this was originally in the dark green micarta scales. I carried it for a little bit with these scales on. They were kind of flat and kind of thin. They weren't really overly comfortable. Also, it's not the greatest quality of micarta. It's got some rough edges. It's not finished very well. There was more roughness on it. I kind of scraped it off a bit, but yeah, it's not super impressive micarta. But I also didn't like the ergos originally. But with these Flightanium scales on, the ergos are better, but I'll get into that in a minute. So it's kind of like a combo review on here. So first off, I bought this knife from Integrity Knives. They have some of these in stock right now. They also have the Flightanium scales in stock too. So the Flightanium scales, again, they're in titanium. They go for $85, and then this knife with the green micarta goes for $105. Both of those prices are Canadian. Be sure to use discount code SharpenedBlade to get 10% off your order. And yeah, check these out. If you like Civivi and if you like Flightanium, these are products you're probably going to enjoy. So yeah, I'll leave a link to Integrity Knives in the description of this video. Be sure to check them out. So, where should I begin? Well, I'll start with the blade first. So, now this isn't a factory edge. This dulled with use, so I sharpened it. I had developed a couple of chips in it. I don't think I got the chips out yet, but I will show, however, I didn't really spend much time on this, but with the work sharp, the new work sharp system, it seemed to have worked quite well. It's not a perfect mirror edge by any means, but it seems to work quite well. I don't have the new Elite package, with the new stones and stuff on it yet, but I will hope to get that soon, and I'm excited to see how much better the edges will get. But it still works pretty good, just being the regular work sharp precision adjust. But yeah, so the blade, it's D2. It held an edge fairly well. Not anything super impressive, but it lasted about a week or so cutting cardboard. It's got a hollow grind. It's a satin finish, drop point. Nice swedge up here, for looks and jimping. Not super aggressive jimping, but effective enough. Sharpening choil, which kind of almost acts like a finger choil. You can kind of get your finger up in there, but still be very careful. The handle, it's right now, like I say, it's got the Flightanium scales on it, but ergos weren't super great with the original ones. They're fine for what they are. This just makes it feel like a whole different knife. They're not, close this so it's easier. They're not super, they're not a lot thicker. Gracious, butterfingers. They're a little tiny bit thicker. They're not contoured specifically throughout the entire scale, but there is some contouring done here and here, which is nice, but they do feel nicer. These are definitely an upgrade for the knife. It does feel nicer in hand with these scales on. As you can see, it has black hardware, which looks really nice against the titanium, and it has a deep carry clip. The clip is not milled into the stock scales or into these titanium scales. It's not lefty friendly for in either stock or the upgraded scales. It's just right-handed carry only. And with these Flightanium scales, it gets rid of the lanyard hole, which I appreciate, but some of you might not like that, but I like that. I didn't really like, just to show you, didn't really like this cutout here. It kind of looked a little odd to me. So it's nice having this all just like that. It's cool. Anyway, the action is not great. When I first got the knife, I would fail it quite often. You do have to be deliberate with this knife to get it to consistently open the whole way. It's on bearings, but right now I have it tightened up enough to center the blade. It was off center quite a bit, so in order to center it, I had to tighten the pivot, and it no longer really drops very smoothly. But you could loosen the pivot more, or I could loosen the pivot more and have it more drop shutty, but then it would be off center. And yeah, I don't carry it a lot, so I might not carry it again after this review. I don't know. So I'll just, for display purposes, it's nice just to see it centered. But if I do decide to carry it more, I'll just loosen it a little bit and have it more fidgety. But yeah, it's your basic Civivi, decent materials, good build quality, fit and finish. A little bit less on this one because it's off center. I don't usually have any centering problems on my Civivi, so that's fairly rare. Otherwise, the fit and finish is good. But I can see why people like this knife. It's, for the size of it, it's fairly ergonomic, and it is nice to cut with. The pocket clip, I forgot to mention, is not much of a hot spot. It's not really a hot spot at all. I had no problems using this knife, and you could feel the pocket clip, obviously, but it was not a hot spot. Basically, this is kind of in the middle of the road to me. Nothing exciting about this knife, really. I can see why people like it, but for me, it's just, I don't know, just another Civivi. And to be honest, I think this might be the last Civivi I review for a while. Kind of getting tired of Civivis. Oh well, I'm just a little burnt out on them. The flipper tab has a little bit of jimping on it. That does help a bit with leverage when you flip it. It does flip nicely when you learn how much pressure to put on the flipper tab, but it did fail a few times at first until I got used to it. But yeah, we'll do some specs and size comparisons, and then I'll just wrap this up. So specs will be on the screen now. And then we'll do some size comparisons. So we have the Rats. It's a little bit smaller than the Rat Model 2 and quite a bit smaller than the Rat Model 1. And then we have the button lock Elementum. Actually, I'll put that at the top. And what did I do with the... I guess I'll just use this one. Mini Asticus. Again, smaller than both of those. And then we have the Riffle. And the Brazen. And again, smaller than both those. So, and then we'll just compare it to the Pilar. It's bigger than the Pilar, at least. But yeah, overall, it is nice looking. I can see why people like it. It's just, for me, I don't know. It's kind of meh. But I think maybe I'm just burnt out of Civivis. I don't know, they're not really interesting to me anymore. As you can tell from my uploads, lately it's been all Civivis. So maybe I just looked at too many of them, but you know, don't not get the knife because of this review. A lot of people love the Elementum, so be sure to check it out. But if you're not a huge fan of Civivi, you might want to pass on this knife. It's up to you. But anyways, as far as I'm concerned, I think this should do for my Civivi collection for now. Thanks so much for watching. Take care.